What's good, y'all? Just going over my R3 before I get ready to ride a little while. I don't know if y'all first time checking me on out. Just want to show y'all, it's a 2020 Yamaha R3, got ABS. I put the M4 exhaust on there. It's a full system because when you get a slip on, what happens is you got to cut the cat off. I put a bigger, wider tire on there. It's a 160. I also put the turn signals on there, fender eliminator. I put the turn signals, the rear turn signals on here. I think it gave it a nice little look instead of those big ass, as they call it, dinosaur teardrop lights. Alright, let's get on there. And I bought it back in September. So yeah. And I bought it back in September. No problem. And it only had like a literal, I think it had like almost 4,000 miles on it when I got it. And this is your first time checking me on out. I still consider myself a beginner. I started riding like November of I think it was November of 2019. And my first bike was the Honda. It was a 2012 Honda CBR 250R. It wasn't bad to start off on, the guy I bought it from, he had put a full system. He had a Two Brothers full system exhaust on it, and he had it flashed and everything. Had like the power commander on it and all of that. Juice Box Pro or something like that. I don't know if I would have spent, any money on getting a small bike like that flashed or anything. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I bought it and I taught myself how to ride. I taught myself basically by watching all these videos on YouTube. But anyways, back to the R3. I got her on the still, basically $4 grand flat. Bought her at $4 grand flat. The guy wanted like I think $4,500 or $4,800, and he accepted. I know most people, they go ahead and they upgrade to a much bigger bike. When they go, a lot of people ride, next thing you know, they get a 600 or a much bigger bike, 1,000. Right after, they have their first small CC bike for a little while. Well, actually, shoot, man, I've seen people ride a bike for a month and instantly go into a 1,000 cc bike. That wasn't my case. What I did was I rode that Honda CBR for maybe a year and a half or something like that. And it was just really me. Of course the world stopped at the end of 2019 because that's when you had that COVID, shut everything down. And then when stuff came back up, man, bikes was crazy expensive. They've coming down a little bit now, but they were still crazy expensive, man. But anyways, I snatched this bike up for $4 grand, and that was after me being online, looking around, and wanted something, you know, that was newer. Like the first bike I had, you know, it didn't have ABS, so I really didn't know what I was missing. Like this bike, you know, has ABS, has a better looking dash. It's an all around better feel. It does feel like I'm a little bit more aggressive in the seating, but nothing like the, you know, the bigger super sports. Nothing like that. But the R3 is definitely comfortable. The R3 also, especially the 2020 R3, it gets up to what, it's 321 cc's compared to like the other, like the Ninja 300s. I think it's like 285 or barely. It's not making 300 cc's. But another reason why I got the R3, man, is the looks. The R3, in my opinion, look way better than the other smaller CC motorcycles. Like the, you know, looks better than the Ninja. Even the like Honda got the CBR, the 300. It's alright, but it's, I don't know, man. Yamaha to me makes the better looking motorcycles. Besides like the Italians or the, you know, like the Ducatis and all that, that takes the cake. Them and MV Agusta definitely takes the cake in my opinion. But I mean, as I was just saying, you know, you see a lot of folks, they go ahead and I hope my camera didn't get wet. Make sure, y'all. But the Yamaha, man, I mean, you see a lot of folks, a lot of riders, they go ahead and they get that bigger CC bike after riding for about a month. And, you know, me, I wanted a newer bike. A newer bike, something that, you know, I still didn't feel I had mastered the smaller CC bike at the time. I think I had like maybe, I don't know, a couple thousand miles. I mean, I knew how to ride before I got this bike. It was just more of, I wanted to be perfect at it. And another thing is, man, like I said at the time, like I bought this at the end of 2020, September of 2020, no, 2021, my bad. It was more of, I was looking for the right deal. And I really couldn't see that. I couldn't find the right deal. I probably would have got a, you know, a bigger bike, a 600, something like that. But hey, I couldn't find a better deal. You know, and also, like, you know, like I don't know if you guys seen the video where I was telling a story about I had the option, or I was trying to get the Suzuki Gsxr at the time. I think it was might have been an 06 or could have been an 08, one of the two. And this had 8,000 miles on it at the time. And this one guy was on OfferUp trying to sell it for like $4,500. Nice, it was red and black Suzuki Gsxr, real nice. But the crazy thing is that the guy had it listed up as a Suzuki 650. And me knowing the bikes and knowing how they look and everything, I knew that he had it up there listed wrong. Had he listed it as a, you know, a Gsxr, Suzuki Gsxr 600, I'm guaranteed for $4,500 it would not have been up there for that day. And to my understanding, it's still up there now. And he wanted $4,500. And I asked him, you know, like, hey man, would you take $4,000 cash? Nope, he didn't want him budge. So I don't know if you heard the story. So all of a sudden I found this right here, the R3 for 45. Guy was saying, yo, he'd take $4,000. Make a long story short, yeah, I could have had that Suzuki 600, because this is what happens. About the same day as I'm getting ready to pick this R3 up, the guy had messaged me and said, okay, I'll take the $4,000. And it was, by that time it was a little too late. So I was just basically thinking like, damn, you know what? I was thinking of a financial point, because I was looking at, all right, let's say I did buy that Gsxr for $4,000 and I had it for a couple of years, but it's, yeah, it wasn't 06 or one of the two. Yeah, no, it was 08. I was already thinking like, you know, okay, let's say if I wanted to trade it on in, I definitely wasn't about to get top dollar or what I paid for it. So I knew that, you know, if I sold my, you know, traded the R3 and being that it was a 2020, I had it for a year or two, I'm pretty sure I could probably get the same amount what I paid for it, or, you know, trade it in for around the same amount, because it was 2020. That's what my thinking was at the time. But like I was just saying, I know I'm rambling. You have people who usually ride a small CC bike for a month or two. Then next thing you know, they feel that they're ready to go ahead and jump on them thousands. But they ain't ready yet. But that was, you know, what I did, man, I don't know. I think I'm glad. You know, I'm happy I actually went this route, because it's really getting that muscle memory trained. You know, on the whole, really knowing the mechanics of a bike. Because I personally think, you know, you can't really, in a month or 2 months time, you're not really about to get that whole mechanics and get the real feel of a bike, man. Being in every situation, you know, what happens when your whiskey throttle 1,000? What happens when you you know, you get certain little things. Hey, what's up, players? Certain little situations comes in the hand, you know. Unless you out there and you put 3,000 miles that month and really got into a bunch of different situations on that bike, then you might be ready. You know, like I say, everybody is different, but still, I personally myself didn't think, you know, after a month, 2 months, I'll be ready. Even though when I got with that, when a guy's trying to sell me the 600, I had already been riding for a year and a half. So definitely ain't, I felt I was ready. It was just more of a financial point at that. Financial thing then. But yeah, I'm definitely now, I really do want that bigger bike now. You know, shoot, I even seen it, looked up online, and I even messaged the guy about that Gsxr to see if, because it's still up, you know, on the OfferUp website, and he has not replied back yet, not even seen the message. So maybe it's just up there and he, shoot, maybe he came to his senses, because that bike only had about 8,000 miles, and to sell it for $4 grand, being a Gsxr, maybe he came to his senses. Who knows? But anyways, y'all, I know it might get a little hard to hear me. R3, man, I must say, she got a little pickup. I know I had to finish my sentence once I slowed it down, because I know my mic probably was popping. But the R3 got a little, you know, pickup, low end torque. Yo, yo! You know, she got a little low end torque. You know, she got I would say she can get up to the speed limit, right? Nice and quick. But once she's at that speed limit, she ain't gonna have nothing really left out there. So, and that's why I want, you know, a little more powerful bike. I want a little bit more power, you know, so then therefore when I am at the speed limit, she will be able to, you know, get me on up out of trouble in case you get those tailgaters. But I wouldn't say I'm bored. I'm definitely not bored of her. You know, I'm not an adrenaline junkie. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going a little fast, that's cool, but I'm not about to do anything, you know, crazy. I'm not about to, you know, be out there balls to the wall. I just need that little bit of power, you know, to get me on up out of trouble, not to get me in trouble. You know. But the R3, man, I'm not gonna lie, I would say I hate using the term beginner bike, because I really feel that any bike can be a beginner bike, and it really depends on the person. So I'm gonna go ahead and break my own rule and say, yes, you know, the R3 is definitely a great, let's say, first bike. You know, if you want to know all the mechanics and really know how to ride, the R3 will help you do that. Definitely help you do that. You know, she's a lot less, you know, a lot more forgiving compared to the bigger bikes. They very, you know, they're not forgiving at all. A little twist of the throttle, a little mistake like that or something like that, man, you might all of a sudden find yourself wheeling when you don't want to. But it's really about the person, though. If that person really can handle it, you know, and respects the power of those bigger bikes, the thousands, is the 600. The thing about the 600 though, it's more of like, it really don't got too much on the low end. You know, you can twist the throttle on a 600, as long as you ain't at over like 7,000 RPM, maybe 8, you good. But when you get over that 8,000 RPM mark, all of a sudden the 600, especially like the race bikes, they're gonna take off like a rocket. And that right there can definitely, you know, make a beginner rider a little shook. Definitely, you know, all of a sudden they going 40 miles an hour and they hit that throttle a little bit more, and that RPM jump on up to 7,000 RPM, and boom, it takes off like a rocket. Yeah, that could be a little startling. Definitely. Definitely, you know. So you say, like right now, I'm just cruising. I'm at 5 RPM, 5,000 RPM. And all of a sudden I go just a little twist and that shit jumps up to 7, 8,000 RPM, and boom, and jerk you back and take off. So that's when I say, you know, and then certain little mistakes, man, that you make as a beginner, those bigger bikes, you know, they're not going to allow you to make those mistakes. They're going to make you pay for those mistakes. And I feel that, you know, everybody make mistakes. Even the experienced riders make mistakes. Even the experienced riders going to make mistakes, y'all. So guess we'll let this guy walk on by. But yeah, even the experienced riders makes mistakes. So in my opinion, man, you definitely want to get the knack of riding first. Y'all can hear me, man. The R3 is nimble, light. Yeah, nimble, light, got a little bit of low power, you know, low end power, so it's kind of easy to judge when you got that low end power. But I guess I've been talking a little bit too long. My bad. I'm glad you guys was enjoying the ride, or hope you guys enjoying the little ride with me. Just through the hood, seeing what's popping. I've been really out here practicing my my posture.